And good day, good evening, everybody. We are live. As you can see, what the title is, it's basically we're going to talk about a lot of things that have happened today. A lot of stuff. A little over a month into the new Trump administration, we're finding Trump is finding out really quickly that Americans aren't as dumb as they think they are, including his Project 2025 thing group. You also find that Americans don't take well to fear, don't take well to being just basically lied to. So we're going to go ahead and talk about a couple of things here. I want to step up on a couple of extra things today. First of all, we're going to talk about the economy. If you know that the stock market went down 800 points today, and doing the investigation on it, it's because the people, 2/3 of Americans have no confidence in the economy. 2/3 of a lot of Americans are just not buying anything. They're not going to buy anything. They are putting away money. They don't want it. They're scared at this point of what's going on. And so right now it is a lot of the things that Trump is doing, the tariffs, the taking apart of the federal government, is coming back to bite him in the ass. Especially the tariffs, because a lot of auto companies are finding out that they can't get supplies cheap. That tariffs are going to ruin that, and they're cutting back on their on the ordering and laying off people. Also, Toyota and Nissan are discussing whether or not they should pull out of the United States because of tariffs. Also, the cost of building goods have gone through the roof. There's no building right now because of winter, but all indications is that it's not going to be well. So it's going to be a very bad year coming up, and the stock market is starting to reflect that. Mr. Suave, Kim, how you doing tonight, guys?
Doing
Hey,
well.
Kim. How you doing,
I
Will?
Doing good. So as you can see, the one thing that I've been talking about for months, about a month into, 2-3 weeks, is that everyone feels helpless. You know, what we could do, da da da. And I always said he's going to get to the point of pitchforks and torches. And if you saw any of the town meetings, and there's some more coming through, people are not happy in
Yeah.
Republican districts.
No, they're not.
They are, yeah, and the thing about it is, they thought they could bullshit their way through this. There are people who know their civics.
Yeah.
These are not liberals. These aren't, far lefters. These are older folk are going, no, this is unconstitutional. And those assholes were up there going, trying to defend not being constitutional.
Well, they got
It's
booed.
insane.
They got booed as soon as they started talking. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, and like the guy in Georgia, that district is hardcore MAGA Republican. And those people came ready. There were people outside the building that couldn't get in and were pissed. That's how bad that was. The guy in Oregon took shit. There was another one that just popped up I saw where the guy started to talk and they just booed him. Republicans are about to do the FO part of FA because they're having a hard time defending themselves. My take on it is, if Trump had gone to Congress to do what he wanted and make Congress, give them laws to do it, and then it goes to the Senate because they have both houses, and then signed the law, there wouldn't be a problem. He put an illegal immigrant in front of an illegal organization to start firing everyone people left and right. And that isn't going well with with the regular
No.
Republicans.
And you know that Elon's just Trump's heat shield at this point. It's like the dancing dipshit is like just unaware, I guess, that he's being used by Trump. It's like he'll take all the heat. Trump will go, oh, well, I thought he was smart, but, sorry, Elon, hit the bricks,
Yeah, a couple things came up with
when the
Elon
shit
today.
really hits the fan.
Yeah, a couple things came up with Elon today. The chainsaw at the CPAC meeting,
Oh, yeah.
the his own security force has been given deputized status by the marshals, the U.S. Marshal Service. I
Yep.
mean, that's crazy. And to me, that just shows that
Yeah.
he's not an official member of the government, because if he was an official cabinet member, wouldn't he get Social Security, or not Social Security, Secret Service?
Yep. I brought someone in. Howard, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Yep.
Okay. I listen to you on
Just
the boomer all the time. I heard something today or yesterday that really made me think. Um,
hmm
Hitler was elected. And from the time he got elected until he had it changed, I don't know if they called it a dictatorship or a totalitarianism. Does that sound right? Anyway, it took
hmm
7 weeks.
Yeah,
And
it was
as
a very
fast
short
as
time.
Trump is blitzkrieging and trying to change stuff, in 7 weeks, we could be under a
hmm
dictatorship.
But the thing I would take to that, Howard, is my take is the title of this live. As you could see, the German people were coming off a war. They were coming off inflation really bad. I'm talking hyperinflation.
Oh, yeah.
And they were hurting. The economy had collapsed. So you know who gave them false hopes, and they jumped into it. So they were fine going along with it. In fact, if you know later on, they knew what was going on in camps. They just didn't say anything. Americans aren't built that way. And if you watch those town meetings, they're telling Congress, we are not them. So that 7 week thing is true, but I don't think it's going to work for Americans. We're not
And,
built like that.
and
Oh,
it,
hell
it
no.
shouldn't work because we have all them checks and balances. But, I can't believe the stupidity that is going on in our country that even got him elected the second time.
Well, we know
So
what that was
I hope
about.
so. I hope so. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm going to be 62, and this is
Right.
the first time I've ever been worried about the future of our country. And that's all I wanted to add because I got to jump off. We're getting ready to eat
Okay.
here. This is the first time I've been
Okay.
on a live. I appreciate you bringing me up.
No problem. Thanks for following me, Howard. You have a good day. Enjoy your dinner, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you. But yeah, you guys, you've heard that 6 months. That's what is it? A month that it took for Hitler to take apart the government.
Oh, yeah, it was some ridiculously short amount of time. But Germany was just so vulnerable then. And, just having come off of the Kaiser fucked
hmm
them up big time, right? So it's like they were very, very vulnerable. They were very, very weak. Hitler presented that opportunity. And, it's like, it's not going to happen here. There's just too damn many of us, and now we got social media and we have a way to communicate. So it's like, yeah, you really can't stop us and suppress us.
And so the other thing too, the other, watching, we are not. It's just fun. It was so heartening because you guys would agree on November 5th. That broke my heart.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really trust. I thought Americans knew better, but they got conned. But what happens is when you get conned and you realize you got conned, what do people get? What's your first reaction?
Oh, you're pissed.
Yeah. And Kim, you would agree with me. You saw those videos. Those people were hard on those
Oh, yeah.
guys.
It's like going full
And
on Scarface on them.
yeah, and it was and it wasn't like they were saying anything wrong. They were just asking him. They were saying, "Hey, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, why are you not following your duties?" And not one of those people wanted to answer that question. Why?
Yeah,
Because they don't want to.
No, they don't.
they don't have the answer.
Well, they have an answer. It's
Well,
that
they do,
Trump
but
doesn't
it's
want them
like those
to.
people aren't going to want to hear it. That's for damn sure.
We heard that.
Yeah,
And the one thing, go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry.
they're still just parroting back, the points that they've been told to say. They're not saying anything to help the situation. They're just up there listening and then parroting back stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think I saw 3 of them today, 3 different town halls, and none of them really said
Right.
anything positive or different or anything.
And it's and they're finding out it because their bullshit worked during the election. Okay, it worked during the election. They were the con people, but when it came down to when the rubber met the road, they all found out. Oh wow, what the hell? They didn't expect this, honestly. And also, it's come down to, aside from the immigration thing, aside from the culture war bullshit they're trying to sell us, people basically is simple. Don't fuck with my money. Don't mess with my money. And they're messing with my money. Everybody's money. And it's like and the thing about it is that even the IRS, when they said they fired those people, IRS, and people were starting to say, "Hey, well, good luck getting your refund back. You're messing with my money." I'm not even bringing up Social Security, Medicaid, or Medicare. And good. And yeah, this is just not what they signed up for. What they signed up for was to see the grocery prices go down. What they signed up for was a better economy. They did not sign up for this.
Well,
And welcome to the real world.
the
Go
people
ahead, Kim. I'm
that
sorry.
the people that are a little better off, that have stock, that have retirement income that is based on stock and things like that, those type of people are going to start getting angry soon because the stock market is taking dives. And
Yep.
it's a lot of what's going on. But then, like, big companies like Walmart came out either yesterday or today and said, "Oops, our 2025 earnings are going to be in the dump, and we're not going to be making as much money as we think we are for this year, and we're just warning you now." So it's when companies like that start coming out and saying things, it's going to start getting rough because people are going to start taking notice.
And part of it is too because um, uh, Walmart jumped on the new Jim Crow DEI bandwagon, and they got a lot of blowback, like Target did,
Yes.
and that's part of it.
Well,
And
yeah,
uh,
that's part of it. But I worked for them for 5 years, and they're
okay,
not what they claim to be in a lot of cases. They are not the family oriented, rah rah, we're for everybody, the public and all that kind of stuff. I was actually an assistant manager for them for 5 years, and I saw a lot of the stuff that they did to their employees when it came to the economy, and how they, oh, well, we're giving more money here, but then they turned around and took it away somewhere else. And they've always been like that. They've always been like that. And people just don't realize it. They've always been taking away people's money for years, right there at the store level, at the company level.
and hey JD, welcome. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing fine. You said you had a story for me about a farmer who actually burned his mega hat or gave up his mega hat.
No. I just invited a guy that he's in the chat actually. he we've been on the same page about this for a long time. I just invited him to watch her live. But
Right.
man, watching those town hall meetings were that was pretty intense, and it wasn't just one or two. There were
No.
several of them, mostly in red states,
Yes, definitely.
and that's, I mean, it's one thing for Democrats to be mad, but if Republicans are just as fired up, I think
Yeah, because
I think the wind is changing a little bit.
well, what happened is that they overstepped. Like as I said earlier, you probably heard it. Yeah, we're crying a river, America, because we believe in the patriotism and the Constitution, because that's what they did. As soon as Trump, Elon Musk was one thing, and they were getting their head around it. As soon as Trump said, "Long live the king,"
Oh,
and they put that damn so-called time poster on the Washington on the White House website,
Yeah.
and everyone said, "Oh hell no!" Because the point is, well, we're just joking. No, Americans don't joke like that. We grew up with the story of bringing down the king of the greatest country at the time to get our independence. We were born and bred on that story. Fuck, Hamilton is just about that story. And if you've seen Hamilton, there, and you're gonna say, "I'm king," and you saw his fucking act with the governor of Maine today. He acted like that. And by the way, that trans thing is not a federal law. It's an executive order. It has no teeth. That's what she was saying. It's not a federal law. I'll see you in court.
yeah, it's a wish list item.
And yeah, it is. And all I get in my go ahead. I'm sorry, JD.
He really looked like a bitch in that meeting. I mean, he really did. It was just whining and whining and whining, and then that governor just said, "All right, fuck you. I'm taking you to court."
I'll see you in court. And she just laid him out. She goes, and he was saying, "Just no, I'm going to follow my state law because there's no federal statute." Blah 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 blah. And she goes, "I'll see you in court." And and Trump just, first of all, he hates women in power. He despises them. Unless they capitulate to him. And she was just sitting there going, and well, you want to have, you want to have a job. Guess what, dude? She's the most popular person in Maine because the one thing I know about Maine, they love their independence. They fucking love it. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, oh hell no. And the point was, the Brian Tyler Cohen put the whole video up before, and Trump was talking the same stupid bullshit about trans, especially about the boxer in the Olympics. And he said she was trans. No, dude, she was a woman.
Yeah.
She was just a really well-trained woman. And the Italian boxer got her ass kicked because she deserved it. But she was not a man, but he pushed that whole lie.
Not to mention
the whole thing. Go ahead, JD.
You can't even be gay or transgender in her home country. So if she was trans, she not only would not have been in the Olympics, she would have been fucking in jail. I mean,
right.
How do you even begin to think like that?
And it was ignorant. His whole statement was ignorant. It was rambling and everything. And then when he singled out the governor of Maine, and the governor, like he was like at some kind of mob meeting, like he's Al Capone. Yeah, but basically what she did, she took the bat from him and hit him in the head. And that was embarrassing for him. And he did this on the day when the stock market took 800-point drop. He lost in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court on the 7-2 decision said, "Nah, you can't fire him.
Oh, really?
Can't do it."
Yeah.
Yep.
He blew it with a couple other judges today, too. Now, let me try to bring some of that up.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
I've been curious about what the Supreme Court was going to do because, we heard something last week from Chief Justice John Roberts saying, telling the administration they better obey court orders or something like that. And then the this executive order too he just did the other day about only him and Pam Bondi can interpret the law. Well,
Yeah,
if that's allowed to stand, that eliminates the whole court system, and that means that the Supreme Court would have no power, and this Supreme Court, especially this Supreme Court,
yeah.
is never going to let that fly because they like their power.
And the thing about it is what you're seeing right now. And if anyone's read Frankenstein, you created the monster, and what's the monster do? It's turning on you.
Oh yeah.
So welcome to the real world. Hi TJ, what's up, brother?
What's up, Will?
Not much. Just kind of celebrating that Americans are showing that they don't believe in any kind of king this last day. That was we have been talking to Mike, and we've been talking to everyone what's going to happen, how people are going to react. Oh, people are reacting.
Yeah.
That was. I wish they had the same balls on November 5th, but we'll take it for now.
That Georgia legislator got lambasted.
The dude in Arizona did too. Did you see that one?
Oh God, there's like 20 town halls with dissenters that I can bring up on the news feed right now. I mean, the
And
guy in Wisconsin's the guy that got booed.
most of them are GOP. They're mostly, MAGA and GOP and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, most of them are.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, I saw that little geeky guy in Wisconsin. He didn't even get through his speech where they jumped on him. Oh, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, they were waiting.
But
they had people waiting to get in the door on that one.
And what it is that people are dumb. Yeah, Laurel, it is the beginnings of pitchforks and torches. It is. And because people know the Constitution. They really thought we don't know the Constitution. I saw people asking questions and going, "Damn, I feel like I'm in a history class." They were laying them out.
Some damn smart questions. You good questions.
That one lady in Georgia was like reading out what the dude was supposed to be doing according to the Constitution, and the guy had absolutely no answer for him. Like
Halfway.
the congressman was acting like he had never heard that before, and he was getting
And the worst thing about
mad at the crowd for asking hard questions.
I think
the worst thing about that middle of that question, she was laying out what you were doing, blah blah blah, and the asshole went, "Do you have a question?" She goes, "Yeah, I have a question. Here it is." Yeah, he was arrogant, and he found out real quick what happened.
Oh yeah,
you don't get like that.
I think a lot of people are walking around with their pocket Constitution booklets in their back pocket, their hip pocket, and all that, so that they can go in and pick out the page and this part, and actually quote it off and saying, this is what people are doing wrong. They're doing this wrong. They're doing that wrong, and they actually have their pocket Constitution right there to read it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good.
And let's see here. N8 the Great says, "He who saves the country does not violate any law." Motherfucker, really?
Pull him up.
I am bending a knee for anybody. Ain't happening. I mean, I'm going to go J.B. Pritzker, who just basically laid him out, or the governor of New York. J.B. Pritzker was a brilliant speech.
Absolutely,
that was a brilliant speech.
He's my governor.
Now, Kathy Hochul's speech wasn't as brilliant, but it was New York. It was basically "fuck you."
Oh yeah.
Fuck you. All right. And J.B. Pritzker said the same thing, but he said it a little more elegantly in the end. So basically,
I got a headline here. Baltimore U.S. District Judge just blocked Trump's DEI agenda.
Good.
Whoa. Beautiful. Yep. See, the good thing about the Supreme Court decision, when the Supreme Court decision came up and basically stopped them from stop the firing of that person, I think all the courts said, "Oh, okay, you just John Roberts just basically and those people laid out and said, hey, we're going to back you. Now Trump's really in trouble. Hey, Temptation, I finally got you on
Oh
the live. Sorry
man,
about that.
here we
What's
go.
going on, Binder, and the panel? How you guys doing? And hello to the
Oh,
chat.
howdy,
Happy
howdy.
Friday.
Happy Friday, ma'am. So we were discussing basically the title of his live, which Americans do not capitulate,
Mm.
and watching people really give it to the Republican Party. I mean, what's your take on all this mess recently?
Oh my gosh. And you're absolutely right. It is a hot mess. Because I was just telling a friend of mine, we was texting each other back and forth. He lives in Las Vegas. And I was just telling him, I said, look, I said, we all need to get together come next year during the mid elections and get the Republicans the hell out of office. That way, once we do that, then Donald Trump would not have any other choice but to listen to the Democrats because he's making the most fucked up decisions. And the only thing he's going to do is just try to, take it to the point where America's going to be broke and he's going to be like him and his constituents is going to be richer than I don't know what. And it's sad. It's just sad. And he want to
Mm-hmm.
walk around talking about he's a damn king. Get the hell out of here.
Donald
That's
Trump is
That was
crazy.
it.
Donald Trump is not going to listen to Democrats, and he's not going to cooperate with Democrats. That's not a thing. So anyone who believes that is out of this world because
But
he's
you
not
know
going to
what?
do
My
that.
theory is, TJ, my theory is that somebody from the Republican Party, from the Republican Party needs to stand up, get some balls and stand up to Trump and say, hey, enough is enough. This is 100% foolishness as far as these decisions you're making. It's affecting the country. It's affecting the American people. It needs to stop now.
Well, I agree with you, but he doesn't listen to shit. He doesn't listen to
Well, somebody
anyone.
needs to start the impeachment process and get him the hell up out of office.
Well,
Cause
we have to
He doesn't
change
even listen to his own
we
party.
have to change the composition of Congress to impeach him.
Well, but part of it is the Republicans aren't listening to him because they think he's their way to power, their last way to power, and they're afraid of losing their seat if they go against Trump. What they're finding out right now in those town meetings is that Trump is now an anchor on them. People are pissed. They want their country back. They want their congressman to step up for them,
yeah,
and
the mega people
that's
they're
what the
finding
price is
out
going to be
now.
paid.
Well, one of the things
Well,
I saw today is there's actually a poll out, and I know polls aren't the most favorite thing of a lot of people, but it's saying that 53%, so over half of the people polled, are not happy with what's going on right now.
Absolutely not. Because I knew from the last term that he served when, and I'll never forget it though. I was with my mom at the time, when, she's deceased now, but when I was watching the inauguration with her at the time, and soon when Trump got up and said, and he told everybody, we're going to make America greater again. I sat there and looked at that TV. I said, now, who is he going to make America greater for? Sure in the hell is not for us. And I
That's
stood
right.
on that concept then, and I'm standing on that concept now.
I'll die on that hill.
yeah. And the sad thing about it is that it's so ridiculous is that the new guy who's head of the Kennedy Center, they asked
Yeah.
him, why did Trump do all that? He said he wants to make art great again. And I'm like going, what the fuck are you talking about?
What's it? What are we gonna have?
He's making America
Tractor
greater for
pulls
the
and
billionaires. That's what the hell he's doing.
tractor pulls and mud wrestling? Is that what it's gonna be?
Yeah, it's gonna be Hulk Hogan dancing around the freaking Kid Rock.
Yeah, hi Rebecca, how you doing? They asked him, well, what if stars pull out? What if stars don't want to perform because of what Trump did? So no, we have more. No, you don't. You got dick. Because
And then this
the thing
fool
about it is
want to
that,
sit up here
go
and
ahead.
call himself being a king. And I'm like, first of all, you are not part of the damn royal family. So, I'm like, who died and left you king? You know? It doesn't make sense. I mean, and I'm not bowing down to him anytime, none.
It was Ted Nugent in a banana hammock.
Oh wow.
You know,
Who
Oh
apparently
I
Lord.
hope that
he's
someone
also
needs to
scheduled to
burn the
perform at the
Kennedy.
Kennedy Center.
I would want the Kennedy Center to burn to the ground before that.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, no
Oh
doubt.
my God.
It's gonna be Trump
I'm
up there
sitting
doing
up here
his
going
fucking.
like, King, really?
Well,
Hmm.
one of
And
the
even he
things,
said, when after the inauguration, he said he was going to be a dictator. He said that directly out of his mouth.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he's just joking though. He'd never do that.
Yeah, I
Baby, let
saw
me
an
tell you
article
something,
today.
and every joke is a little truth. And I saw right through him. I'm like, this man is not lying. He's one. And I was telling my friend earlier, I said, what his motive is, he's trying to run this country like it was back in the 1930s. But I'm going to state this: I am not my ancestors, period.
yeah,
Yep.
And here's something I was thinking about too. They every time Donald Trump says something stupid, his
Yeah.
every time he says something stupid, his followers always say, "Oh, he didn't mean that. He's just joking around."
Yeah.
Well, my
Yeah,
thing is I want a president who says what he means and means what he says. I'm not going to vote for somebody that's I have to like friggin' dissect what they say and try and figure it out. I
I
well,
want
mean,
them to
I
say
saw
what they
right through
mean.
the man even from the first term that he served. I'm like, this man is a consistent, persistent liar. I mean, everything that, if he says something, then then when you look into it later on, I mean, it's just constant lies.
I saw an article
He
today.
doesn't believe in being truthful. I mean, he doesn't care about anybody, anything but money and world affairs. That's it.
I saw
He
an
don't
article
care about
today.
us.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
I saw an article today. It was they were asking New Yorkers what they thought about him saying he was king. And it was really comical because of course like all real New Yorkers are like saying like, it's ridiculous and like making, snarky comments about it. And then of course, yes, all his followers that they interviewed, their comments were, oh, he didn't mean it. It was all a joke. He doesn't, it was just a, turn of phrase. It was, of course.
You know,
But the point is, he's acting like it though.
Yeah.
He's acting like every time he writes an executive order, it's law. Going back to what we were talking about with the Maine governor, that everything he does. I mean, as we saw, he wrote down an executive order showing that the courts do not decide the law. We do. I do, and the AG. No, man, you do not do that. It's just insane
Right.
because it's not even a law; it's an edict. Laws come through Congress
Right. I
as
was going to say
bills.
because Jasmine Crockett did a video one day and she stated that Congress has quote unquote the power of the purse. He thinking that laws are supposed to change just like that just from a stroke of the pen. It doesn't work like that.
Hmm.
You could put in 25 executive orders all you want to, but if Congress and the judges said no, that's illegal, that's it.
And I
yeah.
think the Supreme Court gave us a little hope on the extreme. Now, I don't know if that'll stand if Trump gets a hold of someone in there or with Alito and all that. I don't know. I'm just hoping that with everything starting to kind of shift in a month, with
Uh
people going at the Republican Party hard now, this might be the start of the slow turn of the tide. Now, it's not going to be easy. He's still got the immigration thing that people are really hot for.
oh yeah.
I'm hoping when the next month's jobs reports are going to be horrendous because they don't get it. All those federal employees they're firing and saying they're saving money, they're not.
Uh-huh.
They're costing money because there'll be an unemployment. It's going to cost the economy. Oh no! By the way, firing FAA safety people is not a good idea. Didn't we have a plane crash since he became president
Yeah.
recently?
We
I
had
think we had
isn't it
another
like
one
one a
recently.
day now?
There
It's
was
like every other
And you
day.
know what scares me? You know what scares me, Binder? Because, and I was telling a couple of people that today, matter of fact, that by the time that, these people are getting, terminated from their jobs, by the time the
Hmm.
summer arrives, the crime rate is going to triple.
yeah, because
Oh yeah.
people are going to be needing to unfortunately commit crimes to stay alive. Unfortunately,
Right. They're going to be on survival mode. And I get it. I mean, it doesn't make it right, but hey, they got to do what they got to do to survive, to take care of their families.
And one of the things too, why crime will go up. Let's talk about this elephant in the room. Kash Patel was sworn in as the FBI director today.
mm,
If I'm a organized crime, if I'm a financial crime guy, I'm breaking open champagne. Cause he ain't coming after me. He ain't coming after Underworld. He ain't coming after anyone who's really doing crime. He's going after people that are against Trump. And so if you think the crime records are higher now, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because he's not going to help anyone. He's not going to serve the American people. Period.
No, Cash Patel is going to be like another Joe McCarthy.
If he
Let
lasts
me
that
ask you
long.
guys this question because this was kind of bothering me today. What is you guys' opinion though about RFK Jr.? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, that man really had raised my level of pisserism.
we had
He had
we
really raised my level of pisserism. I'm
You,
like, why would
What's
they
you guys
vote this
go
dude in
first.
for this position?
what's my
You guys
opinion?
go first.
What's my
So,
opinion of RFK Jr.?
Yes.
Yeah, a worm ate his brain. And number one, a worm ate his brain, and he wants to eliminate the polio vaccine. That
You mean
tells you
measles? Because I
everything.
heard there's a bad case of measles
Yeah,
epidemic
yeah,
in Texas.
yeah.
yep.
That's going on, and he wants to eliminate all vaccines.
And
I
he
mean,
wants
come
to
on now.
Wow.
he wants to eliminate antidepressants, and he wants to send us
Right.
to camps so that we can concentrate.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
Ain't no way in the
concentrate in
hell them
camps.
people gonna go to no damn camps for what?
Because it's peaceful and it'll help them with their depression and their ADHD and all this bullshit.
Doesn't that
Yeah, and
remind
you're
you of
It
absolutely
like
right.
sounds
All of
like
that
they're
is just a
being
bunch of
sent to a
bullshit. And
freaking
I'm like,
kibbutz.
dude, really? But this
yep,
man was on drugs and did alcohol back in the day.
He was a
So I'm
yep.
heroin
like,
addict.
who is you to determine what's best for these people? You're not a medical doctor.
He was a junkie, a heroin addict.
Exactly. Exactly my
And
point. So I'm like, who in the hell is he to determine, to make those type of decisions for these patients? It's just not gonna happen.
I, my mother was a public health nurse in LA County for 20 years. And her job was to track down stuff that happened that got loose. Um, and she would be rolling in her grave because um, she respected Robert F. Kennedy, but she would hate R. F. Kennedy Jr., despise him because
Yeah.
she was before she worked for the county of LA. She worked at Bartle Hospital in Los
Mm-hmm.
Angeles. That was the last polio clinic left, and she saw kids in iron lungs. She knew what it was. And for this dumbass to come in here thinking that for some weird ass thing that vaccines are evil, I don't get it. And
Well,
people, and the thing about it is, the Senate doesn't give a fuck. They don't care about us.
well, if you want to have a good
It's
laugh,
ridiculous.
if you want to have a good laugh, follow Doinkles on TikTok
I'll take a pause.
because he does
Coffee break.
an
I'll see you
impression
after
of
this.
RFK Jr. and it's hilarious.
Well, if they
And
keep bringing up the autism thing, and these shots cause autism. Well, the thing that people don't realize is it's just being diagnosed more now than it was years ago. That's the only thing. I mean, there was autism back years ago,
Right.
being diagnosed more because they want to put they put labels on children for two reasons. They want to, well, really for one big reason, they want to get them the proper education and the proper services, and to do that, you have to put a diagnosis to something. You can't get the services without a diagnosis. So these kids are being diagnosed with, autism, and then they're getting services that they need. Parents are getting services to help them. The kids are getting services in school, but autism was there 50 years ago. It just
Right.
wasn't known.
Well,
Right.
That's exactly like everything
that's
else.
yeah, that's the dumb fuck's argument is that they they think that autism is something new, and it's because of vaccines, right? So
Right.
it's nothing new. They just didn't recognize what it was years ago.
Right.
It's like everything
And the
else. Like,
thing of
how many people
and the
did you?
autism. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Rebecca.
No, it's all right. How many people did you know? Like, I'm Gen X. How many people did you know when you went to school, if you're Gen X or older, that had like peanut allergies and stuff? Like, it's just that people didn't know they had gluten allergies. They had peanut. They didn't know those things, and now like we are way more advanced, and technology is way more advanced, and we know way more shit now. Like,
Right.
it's not like, I mean, in that study that what came out about autism, it was proven to be false and was taken down, and it was, complete bullshit.
Debunked. That was my next point. It was an absolute. It was made up, and that guy, that English doctor, was defrocked. But the problem is, he became some kind of hero that people believe in now. They
Well,
believe he's right. Now, here's the best thing. You're gonna love this story. The West Texas outbreak of measles is because of unvaccinated children.
Yes.
This
Right.
woman actually put up, and someone put a video on it, just a picture of it. She said, I'm in West Texas. There's an outbreak of measles. My child is not vaccinated. How do I protect him from getting measles?
Well, right now there's not a whole lot she can do, but if she wants to take care of future outbreaks, she needs to go get her child vaccinated.
Exactly. They are stupid. We're dealing with people who are just. I mean, grew up with nurses, and my wife with our kids. We had the little yellow sheet. Everyone got their vaccinations. It was what you're supposed to do, and it keeps these diseases from manifesting. The problem is, if measles is manifesting again, these are viruses. Remember, viruses mutate if they're not taken care of. You don't want measles to mutate.
No.
You really don't.
I saw something today that they're saying that right now, the strain that's being spread around, the current people who are currently vaccinated, even at our age, and I'm a boomer, at my age, my vaccine is still going to protect me from the current outbreak. If I were to be in that area, I wouldn't necessarily get measles
Oh,
because
I got measles.
well, I think I did have the flu when I was a kid, but I don't think I had a bad case. So it's only
Oh,
with two vaccines, two doses, it's only 97% effective. So 3% of the people who get the vaccine are still going to get the measles, but they're not supposed to get it as
Wow.
bad. So it's the same with COVID. COVID only gave you protection up to a certain percentage. But if you had it, then the vaccine, it wasn't supposed to be as bad if you got it. You know?
Yeah, because the only
and
thing with the COVID vaccines, I mean, you could still get it, but only difference is it'll prevent you from being
Yeah.
hospitalized. That's the only difference.
well, it's the
and
same
on
thing with
this,
the flu.
I caught it
Yeah.
twice, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I had COVID a few months ago, and it was very mild, but I
right,
was
and
vaccinated.
CDC and Trump and his Doge people are gutted the CDC. They're gutting the CDC. They're gutting research.
And I do not
I
understand that. That just doesn't make any sense.
I think they just want to
they're
isolate us and kill us. That's all they're doing.
And I
and
was
the
telling,
point is,
I told a
I don't know
creator this
why they
morning,
think
I
it's gonna
said that
like
they're
only kill
purposely
freaking the
doing that to
poor
decrease the
freaking.
population.
I'm sorry. Say again. See.
I said, and I was telling a creator this morning, I said, Trump and his administration, they're doing that purposely to decrease the population in America. That's why they did that.
Well, we're
And
already.
Rebecca, what was your point? Something about money or poor?
No, the point is that like I don't know how they think it's going to kill off Democrats and not millionaires. Like I don't understand how they think that like it doesn't affect them.
Remember
Because
that
Trump had
that
caught COVID during his first term. I
oh
remember that
God,
he was in the hospital.
yeah, he
I mean,
couldn't wait
I
to get
get that
vaccinated, didn't
they
he?
can get special treatment and they can better treatment or whatever, but that's no guarantee. There were lots of
Nope.
freaking rich people that died during COVID.
And the thing about it too is it's the attitude about social services. They were fine with them cutting SNAP, welfare, Medicaid, Medicare, but now they didn't understand that it's not the color folk are going to get it, not get it. We're all going to get it. And now they're
Exactly.
mad. And that's the thing. They thought they were going to get those freeloaders. And I had someone said that to me, you know, all you freeloading, people on welfare, blah, blah, blah. Hey, guys, no. That's a safety net. That's what it's designed for. That's their problem if they're on it and don't want to get off it. I don't care.
Well,
That's always been my take on it.
the people that are being fired are not freeloaders. They're people that are making decent salaries, and so they're going after that level too. But it's not just because I don't know. It's crazy because those people make decent money, so they're going after everybody. I guess at all different levels. They take away the
Yeah, the fit.
programs. They take away the programs that's going after the people at the lower levels. They take away people at the job level. They're taking their jobs away. They're going to put those people on the services. Those people are going to end up needing the services that are being cut. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
It's disturbing because the people who are doing this firing, they shouldn't be fired. There has to be a class action suit because, to my remembrance, in order to get rid of a civil servant, it's a process, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
that's why they're going after probationary people. They go after probationary people first. They can fire them a lot faster. They don't need all the documentation and everything because they're still on probation. Okay, they can be fired without cause in most cases.
That's why they're going
Oh,
after all of them first. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
so explain, like, the Oregon town hall. Guy was there, and he goes, "I was a park, national park employee for 13 years, and I've been fired.
He changed.
Why?"
He changed positions. When you change positions, you go back on probationary for a certain amount of time.
So who's going to watch the national parks?
I
Who's
know.
going to clean that up?
Yeah.
Who's going to maintain them and the roads? Do they don't care? I've
Wow.
been who's been to Yellowstone? I have.
I have.
Yeah, Yellowstone is a beautiful place, but it has to be
Huge.
maintained. Yeah,
There's also
and the
people.
thing.
There's also
Go
people
ahead.
around there that are keeping people safe by telling them not to go into certain areas which are dangerous because if you step in it, you're going to die because it's a hot spring or something like that. you know.
Well, yeah, I know that. To me, that's Darwin. I mean, if you want to go in Yellowstone and F with a buffalo, good luck. And I've seen people try. That's
Yeah.
not very bright. But I mean,
Darwin
but the point
Memorial.
is that, yeah. But the
I think
point
it's
is that they get rid of all
confirmed.
these. Yeah, they get rid of all these people for the purpose of getting rid of the people, and I don't know what the end game is. They're not saving money. They're not saving us money. They're just
And not
destroying
only, not,
everything.
and Byron, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but not only that
Good.
though, I mean, it's not Trump's money, so it's like, what is the sole purpose of him making all these cuts? Oh, and I got something. I just got some information not too long ago from another creator about when he terminated those IRS workers, and I found
Mm-hmm.
out the reason why that he terminated the IRS workers is because of performance. But the twist to that is they never received a performance review.
They were
So
probationary.
that's another illegal law that he broke. And I said, boy, that's another lawsuit right there that's going to be stacked on his plate.
But see, you don't. He does think it's his money. He thinks
Say it
that
again.
he does think it's his money. Like, I know you said it's
Right.
not his money, but he thinks it's his money. He thinks
I
it
wa-
is his money and the money of whoever he deems to be in, control of it. They think it's their money.
See,
I
they're
And
wonder
looking.
Yeah, well, people
realistically,
don't
what's
it's
think
going to
not,
so.
and
wind up in
especially
the
Elon
sovereign
Musk.
wealth
Oh my
fund.
goodness, don't get me started with him.
Well, they're
I
looking
don't
at.
get him.
They're look,
Why is he? Why does he care about the American government so much? Why does he care about this? Because it doesn't. I mean, other than all the investigations that are going on, he got rid of those. I can see that. He's got his Starlink. He's got all his government contracts. But how does this benefit him other than being a basically a Bond villain?
Well,
I
he
mean,
has his fingers in the cookie jar in Germany, UK, um, Russia. I mean, so many countries. Like, he is just obviously South Africa. Like, he is trying to take over the world, and I do not mean that in any kind of facetious sense. If you read some of these articles about the stuff that he's doing worldwide, it is appalling and terrifying.
yeah,
Like, literally terrifying.
he's support.
Somebody said in the comments in the chat, they said Elon is protecting his stockholders. Now I kind of believe that.
Well, he's supporting in all these other countries. He's supporting all of the right wing parts of the government. He's
This
supporting,
is all about the dividends with him. That's what it's all about. All about his revenue.
but he's supporting all the conservative sides of the governments in
Yeah.
all of these countries.
Then why is Twitter or
It's
why
about
is
way more than that. It's
Tesla
about
tanking?
way more than money for him. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it is about
yeah,
world domination for this man.
exactly.
And I am not.
Power and control. That's it. It's
It
about
it
money, power, and
is.
control for the both of them.
Read, just start googling him and like Germany and UK, and I have articles I can send you. It is literally terrifying what he is trying to do across the world.
now
Wow.
the good thing about is that his act here, the Germans are not happy. They're already making moves against him because they have different laws and they can stop him. The British are starting to go, no, 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 we don't have dark money here in the UK. We don't play that. So it's gonna be he's gonna try, but he's finding out real quick that they're going to stop because they don't want this,
I
and they're
think
not going to let him do what they did to us.
I think
Let me ask you this, Binder. Now, can you kind of like bring me up to speed? What the hell is going on with Trump and what's his name, Putin?
Oh God, we got whoa wow.
Damn.
what's happening.
Okay,
You
Katie,
open
you're going to say something, then I'll go into that. Go ahead.
Uh, to answer Temptation's question, Trump is licking Putin's ass.
Oh gosh.
He
Yeah,
is. He's Putin's just using him as a tool, and that's all it is.
but he's not going to win this.
Oh no,
He can't win. He's not going to win it because
the rest of Europe's
Biden
gonna
left.
take it.
Yeah, Biden left NATO in a very solid spot, and they're basically saying no. They're basically saying we don't care about what you say. They're embracing Zelensky in Ukraine, and everything that Putin wants, he's not going to get. He's talking to the wrong people, and it's not going to work for him. And the rest, and that's one thing. A couple of the town hall people were asking, "Who do you support? Do you support Russia or Ukraine?" And some of those Republicans were going, because they got caught.
Yeah, because
And
I think Mike had talked about it on one of his videos. He said that Russia was the one that started this war.
oh God, yes,
There's no doubt. There is no doubt. Russia 100,000% invaded the
Yeah.
Ukraine, which is a peaceful government run by a guy who is a peaceful guy who, by the way, beyond stepped up to the plate for his fucking country. And
yes.
and Trump basically came out and said that Ukraine started the war.
Well,
And that's false.
yeah, and he's calling Zelensky a dictator because he doesn't have elections. Well, how can you have an election when you're living in a war zone and you're just trying to survive and protect your people.
Yeah, well, Zelensky did get elected. Zelensky was an actor who once played a Ukrainian president, and they thought he was so freaking good in the role, they elected him.
Mm.
And what did he do? He fucking stood up for his freaking country like he was born to literally play that role. He has gone above and beyond literally anything anybody could ever have imagined.
Somebody made a
Amen.
comment on the in the chat in the chat says Trump called someone a dictator. Has he looked in the mirror?
Yeah, and that's the thing he's finding out real quick is that our country's not built like that to be totally taken over. Um, People are starting to fight back. Only a month in, they're also
Yeah.
starting to see the economy is not going well. People are starting to lose their jobs away from federal, and his
Right.
act is old, and he's only here for the adulation. And for God Almighty's sake, he doesn't do anything in the White House but get in front of the press and just spout bullshit.
Right,
He
and go play
never
golf some damn where. Get
play
the hell
golf,
out of here.
and he's not leading. He's just doing
He's
this
not
for his
taking
own
care of
ego.
real business.
No, I'm down
Right,
here.
and we're about to.
I'm
Go ahead.
down
I'm
here.
sorry.
I'm down here in West Palm Beach, and I drove past Air Force One the other day, sitting on the tarmac where Trump's plane usually sits. So he was in town. He was golfing.
Yeah, he's golfing. I mean, he's golfing. He does. See, that's what I always loved during the Biden administration is that whenever Joe Biden would go to his house for a beach weekend visit, they would flip out. Why isn't he in the White House? What is that? Why is he not available? Um, Come on, guys. And then the press hated Biden because he wouldn't talk to him. We doesn't have to talk to you every fucking day. Now you got Trump talking to you every day. Why?
And see, and
What
my
does that
thing is, I
benefit
don't
you?
have anything against him going, playing golf and stuff, but hell, take care of your business first. Once you handle your business, then you could go on the golf course and chill and do what you do. And I'm not saying people are not entitled to a vacation. I'm not saying that, but take care of the business that you need to take care of. Take care of America's business first. Once you get that accomplished, then go somewhere and relax and get a peace of mind, and then go back to doing what you got to do. But he's like, damn, chilling all the time, and for what?
Yeah, see, I have a lot of MAGA family down here in Florida with me. Um, and when I make comments like that, they're saying, oh, well, he's doing business on the golf course. He's doing business at
Oh,
Mar-a-Lago.
that's bullshit.
I got tapped on the shoulder the other day when I dropped my mom off, and she was like, don't worry, it's going to get better soon. He's going to take care of everything.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
want him to take care of everything. See,
But
that's the thing. The president's not supposed to take care of everything. He's supposed to lead the nation. He's supposed to work with Congress and the House and Senate to do things that are beneficial to all of us. That's the problem with these MAGAs is that they want someone to take care of them because they don't know what to do with their own failed lives. So they think that Trump is going to save them from themselves. As I said before, life is a you problem. You make the most out of it. Trump is
Mm.
not going to save you. Elon Musk is not going to save you. And just because, and the point is that you're miserable, I don't want to be miserable like you. That's what you brought on to us right now. That's why I have
Binder, let
no
me let
mercy
me
for
let me
Trump,
let me
Trump
jump in
Musk.
and
Yes,
state
ma'am.
this now. Me personally, I'm a Nichiren Buddhist, and one of the things that I've learned is, like I said, these MAGA people, they look at Trump as their so-called savior. But one of the things that I've learned is that we are 100% responsible for our own lives. So it's time for people to start waking up and start thinking for themselves, because you are the person that's going to be the one to determine what's going to happen far as like down the road, your future and the rest of your life, instead of depending on this one person, because it's obvious he doesn't care about the people. He's only worried about himself and his billionaire constituents. That's it.
And that's the thing that you're seeing whenever Trump or MAGA come in, I had the Canadian American hockey game. And I bring this up because it was bigger than when it should have been. It was just, when the bubble-headed bleach blonde that comes on at 5, his host says that I hope America wins over our 51st state, pissed me off. That's not funny, lady. But what happened is after Canadians won, there's a great ESPN video of the Canadian team singing "Old Canada," and then there were some people in Canada talking smack, which is fine. They said, since we won, you're now the 19th, you're now the 11th province. I thought it was cool. Now there was one guy in the comments from Texas going, well, you don't have enough money or weapons to take us down. And my comment to him was, I welcome my Canadian masters because that's a better leadership. And then I get some guy that gets in there going, you only feel like that, sir, because the left lost the election. And he was trying to be nice to me, trying to explain his position about the immigrants taking all our money and getting the free stuff. And I told him, fuck you. No, I'm not nice to you people anymore. Fuck nice.
Wow.
I'm not ready to make nice. I've spent 10 motherfucking years of my life dealing with your stupidity. Every fucking day since 2016. Even during the Biden administration, we had to deal with your bullshit after what you tried to do on January 6th. And when push came to shove, you motherfuckers were able to outvote us because there were people on the far left that wimped out on us. And if I hear one more person from the far left looking for Kamala Harris, too fucking late. You had your chance on November 5th. Okay?
Exactly.
And the point being is that if you come to me as MAGA and one, start crying about your situation, or two, try to show that we on the left are the problem, or you try to be nice to me, I'm just going to tell you, go fuck yourself. Because I'm done with y'all. We can't save you. We can't fix you. You're too here for us to fix you or to save you. We have to save the country from you. That's our problem right now, which means we cannot interact with you. We have to get around them. Okay, that's my take. You guys tell me what you think.
He talks about he had a mandate. Okay, he had a mandate. He had less than 50% of the vote. Less than 50%, 49.1, I believe it was. So that means more than 50% of the people who voted did not want him. Unfortunately, that was split between Kamala and third-party people. Now we're looking at, I mentioned the poll earlier, more than 53% of people polled believe he's doing a horrible job. So that means some of those people have to be Republicans or people that voted for him if he only got 49.1% of the vote.
I mean, am I
the
being
number
too
speaks for
harsh?
itself. I mean, the people are pissed. They pissed at Trump because he's making all these fucked up decisions, and it's just like Mike said, let him keep fucking up. He's gonna find out, karma's gonna come back on him. Real talk.
So I keep seeing things in the comments about the military and Trump getting rid of a general. Did anyone see anything about this?
Yes.
Is this new?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. No.
Now he's supposedly going to fire at least 20 top generals, from what I understand. They didn't give any names earlier, but they were saying that that's what he wants to do.
He can't do that. Not without congressional approval, right? Not without cause. Can't remove people like that.
No, I didn't think so either.
It'll get tied up in the courts.
I mean, because that's insane. You're going to strip the Pentagon for what? Sounds like Pete Hegseth is down in there getting rid of people.
And the other thing he
He's
commented on
trying.
was demotions, taking stars away and things like that, and taking away them being generals, but leaving them there, but they could be there at a lower, level.
But that has to be done through Congress, right? Or am I stupid?
I believe that's the decision. He's got to get approval from Congress, and he's not doing that. It's either him or Musk is just telling these people, hey, you got to go. Just like I told you about the IRS, though, when they said the reason why he terminated them was because of performance, but they didn't receive performance reviews. So I'm going like, make it make sense.
See,
He fired the Joint Chiefs of Staff?
I saw that a little bit ago.
Yes, and a friend of mine had sent me the articles on Facebook. CQ Brown, he fired him today.
The Joint Chief of Staff is selected by the other generals on the Joint Chiefs.
I know.
What,
And he sent me that
oh,
article. I was like, what in the hell is going on?
I'll be interested to see what kind of power they can wield over the troops. Because
But this is the president that thinks he's the damn king.
Well, I know that. I'm talking about the generals that the stupid generals that he tries to appoint in their place. Because the officers that were there were very well respected in the military. The fucks that he puts in there now are just going to be some bozo that no one ever heard of before.
Well, yeah,
but that has to go through Congress and the Senate.
Yeah.
Well, let's just talk about the military in general. A military at any rank, a military person at any rank is allowed to disobey an order if they believe it is illegal or against the Constitution.
Exactly.
So when we get to that point, and the military people out there start deciding that they're going to exercise that choice, that option, then it's really going to get crazy.
And see, that's the issue right there, because Trump, for some, twisted reason in his brain, he does not want to follow the Constitution. And those laws been in place ever since I can remember. And why all of a sudden he want to make these sudden changes in this little brain of his, I don't know.
He wants officers that will kowtow to him and do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
And
it's
also,
all about, and like I was saying a few minutes ago, it's all about power and control with him.
And he thinks that if he appoints people in there that are dumb, he can manipulate them.
Hey, Psycho Ward, we always cared about the Constitution. Obviously, you live up to your name in the comments.
Well, I just fucking blocked that guy.
What an idiot. That's foolish. See, that's the thing that they project. They project about that who cares about the Constitution. They don't give a rat's ass about the Constitution.
They sure the hell don't.
The next one that does that, pull him up.
And the thing about it is, is he looking for military that's going to attack the public? Is he looking for generals or colonels that he could promote to that? Or to do his bidding and invade Canada? How much of the military is going to go along with that?
Well, that's what he's underestimating. He thinks that if he puts in top leadership that will bow to him, he thinks that all the troops are just going to do whatever they're told. That's how the Russian military works. The drones are not taught to think for themselves. They are taught to follow orders.
Whereas that's why they get their ass kicked on a battlefield.
Exactly. Our military is so effective because our troops are taught to think for yourselves. They're given an objective, and then they figure it out.
Well, another thing is it's an all-volunteer army.
Exactly.
The three people that were fired from the military, General Charles C.Q. Brown, Joint Chiefs, Chief of Naval Operations Lisa Franchetti, a female, and Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force James Life. Let's see, Judge Advocates Generals for the Army, Navy, and Air Force were also replaced.
Oof.
Only thing I'm going to say is this, that Trump is playing a very, very dangerous game.
Yep. It's like fired the lady and fired the black guy.
Yeah.
He's white.
And I think he's trying to bring forth martial law, if you ask me personally. Somebody said it in the chat, and I agree.
I don't see martial law working. I mean, for one thing, the country's fucking huge. and there's 300 some million people. How are they going to contain us?
They're not.
Well, and how many of us are going to be old, pissed off vets?
That know
Oh
how to fight.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that actually have weapons.
Yeah, not for
Well,
nothing.
And
If they think that the
go ahead.
Democrats don't have guns, they're sorely mistaken.
Oh, exactly.
someone in the
Right.
comments just said, wait until they revoke the Second Amendment. If they do that, it's fucking game on from everybody. I guarantee that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, also he's probably. Hey, Eric has arrived in the chat. He's probably thinking. And I want to get Eric. Eric, want to come up here because you're pretty. I want to ask you
It's
about these things we
illegal.
just popped up. When you come on.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric, how you doing,
Hey,
bud?
Eric.
Alrighty.
Hey, we were talking about something that came across since I've been on live about the removal of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
I haven't seen that yet.
Because go ahead, Miss Swabby, go and read what you saw, please.
Okay, so General Brown, Joint Chiefs of Staff, has been removed. They also, who else was it? Chief of Naval Operations Lisa Franchetti, a female, and Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force James Life, as well as the Judge Advocates General for the Army, Navy, and Air Force were also replaced.
And we're just sitting here speculating, what the hell does that mean for all of us at this point? How deep is he going to go into the military to find sycophants? And will it work? Is the question, too. I mean, if you were to evaluate, what do you think?
How far will he go? Who knows? Let's see here. I'm just pulling up the story.
Right.
I've got the CBS version.
I'm on AP, but I think the reason they let, I could be wrong, but Donald Trump will say that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs is a DEI hire, and
Oh,
that's why
God,
they
yes.
let him go. Because he's, is a black man.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a black man and a woman, they're both DEI hires.
Yeah. According to them, that's, it's not about merit. Here I'm seeing, looks like he's a 4-star, from his uniform, 4-star Air Force general?
Yep.
Yeah, because you know what? If you're black, they just push you through. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, sure, he's not qualified to be the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. He's only got 4 stars on his shoulder.
Yeah. Same with Lloyd Austin too. That guy couldn't.
Yeah.
Be there, right.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, and I think Trump is trying to nominate a 3-star to take his place.
One of his sycophants.
I'm guessing he's
Yeah,
a white man.
retired Air Force Lieutenant General Dan Raisin.
Wait, retired?
Retired.
Yes, retired. Air Force Lieutenant General Dan Raisin Kane to be the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
Let me guess. He's like a.
He can't be if
60-year-old
he's
white guy.
retired.
I guess they're going to bring him out of retirement.
Retirement.
I'm not sure if he can do that
He
or
can't
not.
do that.
Oh, you can
Okay, so we have a.
if you retire, you can go back in.
Kane is a 3-star. He's not a 4-star. And it says traditionally 4 stars are nominated to chair Joint
Hey,
Chiefs.
what happened?
Well,
Dear God.
to be fair, traditionally, majors in the National Guard aren't nominated to be Secretary of Defense. Donald Trump don't care about
That is correct.
tradition at all.
And so the drunk who runs the DOD apparently is trying to clean house. And instead of going from in ranks to promote, they're looking for like people like Michael Flynn then to replace the people.
I'm guessing
Is that my evaluation of this?
who they can say is not a DEI hire And, they want to go back to older military ideas. So let's go to somebody who's retired. That makes sense.
Wow.
Sounds more like DUI hire.
Well, that was Texas, yes.
Good
Damn.
call, Suave. Good call.
So, how much is the Pentagon and some of the people in there going to take this shit? You cannot
Uh-oh.
tell me the entire military apparatus is just going to say, okay, commander in chief or not.
Well,
I mean, whose loyalty? I mean, this major general retired. Is he
Wow.
sworn to the Constitution or to Trump?
well, they all swear an oath to the Constitution. But I think we've been talking a lot about when does Congress say enough's enough? Well, if he starts fucking too much with the Department of Defense and especially defense contracts, their lobbyists are going to go into the money people are going to get behind their Congress people that they give money to and be like, do something, fix this. That may be the line in the sand.
And I think Trump wants to going to blame the Joint Chiefs for the war in Ukraine.
We're
I
not
know
in
that's what
that.
he's doing.
We're not in that. We
I
don't
know
have boots
that,
on the ground.
but remember, Putin's in his ear. Putin is pulling his strings. Getting rid of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to replace what an incompetent sycophant is basically it's a
Now,
fucking wet dream for Putin.
well, to be fair, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I don't know anything about this retired 3-star general, but I would hope that if he has 3 stars on his shoulder, that he's not incompetent. I don't know about sycophant, but I would hope that if he made it to having 3 stars on his shoulder, he at least knows something.
He earned
How many stars did Michael Flynn have?
That I don't know.
I don't know. Michael Flynn's kind of the outlier because if you're a 3-star general, you earned every one of those stars. But then again, you have a guy like Michael Flynn who's just a dick. So I don't
Now
know.
connected to Chromebook _ F56F.
Bear with me a moment. I mean, I'm kind of. It seems this comes on the night where Trump got his ass handed to him by the Supreme Court, where people are starting to stand up and question his validity as doing what he's doing.
It's
All of
about
a
time to
sudden, this
queue out.
happens tonight.
It's time to queue out more chaos to distract.
Michael
Yeah.
Flynn is a 4-star general.
Okay, there we go.
But wasn't he retired by the time he got in with Donald Trump, or did he retire after?
Yes, absolutely.
What position was
Okay,
he the first time?
I think he was going to be head of national security, but he got stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like, I'm just looking here, it looks like Hesgeth removed him as Joint Chief. Trump fires unprecedented shakeup. This is going to be the night of the long knives, guys.
It's just getting started.
Okay, well, can you bring TJ back in? He's been waiting in the wings, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see. Sorry.
Oh, is that my friend Bryn? Hey, girl.
Oh, hey, Brent.
And
Only thing I'm gonna say behind this whole situation, it is a hot mess.
Oh, it is. I hadn't seen this. This is big.
Hey,
no, this has
Eric?
happened.
Eric, what do you think about the Supreme Court decision handed down today?
I saw the headline. I hadn't read the article. Something about they told him no for something.
It was for that dude that he wanted to fire. I can't remember what position it was. It was some ethics committee
Oh,
thing.
was it an inspector general?
It might have been one of those. The case that set precedent was from I can't remember the name of the case, but it was from an FDR, like a guy that FDR wanted to fire, and then the Supreme Court took the case and said, no, you can't fire this guy for no reason. And
Yeah. With just based on that, that gives me some hope that even this Supreme Court there's going to be some things with precedent they're going to hold to, which means like when cause it's going to eventually get there, like on birthright citizenship, they're going to tell them no there too. If they went to an FDR case and said, wait a minute, we can't throw out almost 100 years of precedent, that gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah. And I guess it was a 7-2 decision.
Which probably means
Thomas and Alito.
I was just going to say
No.
Thomas and Alito.
It was Alito and Gorsh.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Thomas was on the right side of
Yep.
the decision?
No, that's crazy. Clarence Thomas?
There's no way Clarence Thomas was on the right side of anything.
Oh wow!
But
Oh, I
Please
see.
don't get
Pete
started about
Hesketh-
that clown.
Updating real quick. Pete Hesketh was fired. He fired C.J. Brown because he's seen responsible for the Afghanistan pullout.
Except they followed Trump's plan.
Yeah.
That was
And now
he
he's bringing in
negotiated
this
all.
Raising Cain guy who was part of the CIA. I don't know. This is just going to be. I'm curious how the Pentagon's going to react.
Well, Trump
Or are they
pulled
going
out-
to run and hide?
Trump pulled out a whole bunch of tweets right before Biden took office, and then got upset. It was all Biden's fault because all of the equipment that were taken out, and all of the people didn't get out the way they were supposed to. Well, how are you supposed to get all those people out when you cut the forces by the amount that Trump did? That's ridiculous.
And then he released like 1,000 terrorists or whatever.
Exactly. Yep.
5,000, I think it was.
Oh, was it?
I think it was 5.
It was a
Man.
lot.
Sorry, TJ, you weren't coming up on my list.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay.
By the way, Flynn retired in 2014. So 11 years ago, this motherfucker retired.
Yeah, so by the time he was already out for 2 years before he got involved with Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time to change your mind on some stuff, to get indoctrinated with some stuff. So, and maybe he retired. We don't know all the details as to why he retired, too. You don't know what he was dealing with outside, what kind of pressures he was getting.
So this is a big. It just seems weird that we were looking at some momentum, watching the town halls. Trump lost in the Supreme Court, and then all of a sudden, bang! This happens tonight,
This is,
and it seems like. Go ahead.
well, this is to shake it up. Like we said a little bit ago, this is a distraction. He's creating. Here, look over here, so you don't notice that I lost at the Supreme Court.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh yeah. He's trying
Yeah,
to
I'm just
distract the
concerned-
people though while he's coming up with all these crooked plans and trying to plan out everything strategically according to his mindset.
Well, and by firing the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, now he looks tough.
Yeah.
That man ain't nothing but a damn wuss. Ain't nobody thinking about him. He wanna put that persona out there like he's tough, but he really isn't.
No, he's not. But in his mind, as fractured as it is with everything else that's going on, he thinks this makes him a tough guy because, he's taken charge.
He's a dictator. I mean, he's a narcissist.
He's a wannabe. He is
Because
a
I just want to ask this question: is that anyone who's going to get into the Joint State Generals, are you going to be loyal to the United States and the Constitution, or loyal to Trump? Because remember, what Trump hated in his first administration is that his generals wouldn't do what he wanted. His generals wouldn't do what he wanted. And I'm concerned that these people who take these appointments, who move in, are more concerned about their power and their position than the American Constitution and the American people. Because if that happens,
Trump's
we're
sole source of
that's a
vetting.
concern.
Trump's sole source of vetting anybody for anything is, are you loyal to me? Like, he doesn't give a fuck about anything else. Like, he really doesn't. Like, you could be a mass murderer or be Bobby Brainworms, and as long as you're loyal to him, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
And you have to
There's a
say
drunk
nice
running
things
the.
publicly.
Yeah, there's a drunk running the. Yeah, there's a drunk. Well, let's put it this way: there's a drunk running the DOD. You have a Florida woman running the AG office, who's more concerned with Christian nationalism than upholding the law.
Christ, the
The
woman in
FBI
charge of
director. Go ahead.
the woman in charge of our education system is a fucking uh, uh, wrestling freaking wife. Like it's
WWE.
Yes.
Yeah.
who just
Oh,
Yep.
who
Got
literally
that.
has like
Yeah.
give me a
one
break.
education certificate.
The Secretary of Transportation used to be a MTV reality star who thinks that planes falling is just what happens and it's Biden's fault.
Our fucking
Who am
president
I
is a
missing
Uh,
here?
fucking TV reality star.
Yep. And what am I missing here?
You're missing
I think
CTEP.
wasn't Linda
You're
McMahon
missing.
supposed to be part of the Trump administration or something?
Yeah, Department of Education. That's what Rebecca was saying. And what am I missing, JD?
Get the hell out of here.
No,
No
it was me.
experience.
I said you're missing See Temptation unwrapping your Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Okay. Sound like a good snack to me, basically.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
but see the incompetency, the whole, because like Kash Patel is now head of the FBI. I mean, there were people in the first Trump administration when his name came up were basically ready to draw and quarter him. They didn't want anything to do with him. And now he's the head of the prominent law enforcement agency in the United States. And now we've got Elon Musk's bodyguards become U.S. Marshals, like some fucking Wyatt Earp thing.
Deputy Marshal.
I mean, what the fuck? And the point is, we say all this, but I'm going to say this straight up. We still outnumber the motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There is no, I mean, even with the military decides to bring the military in to keep us in place, there ain't enough military in the United States to stop us. You can't. Unless they're going to pull troops out of Europe, and even then you still wouldn't have enough. Unless you're willing to bomb us out of existence, you're not going to control of Americans. We don't give up.
Well, and
Well-
the thing is,
No.
how many on his side, if he turns the military on American people, would turn on him? The 2A crowd that says, I have it in case the government comes for me. If the government starts coming for him, they're on our side at that point.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, a
I
majority
mean,
there's going to be a good
go ahead, man.
part of the military that is going to say, I ain't doing it. And they're going to step over and say, okay, we're going to protect the people.
And what gave me hope, and even with this news, what gave me hope is, well, first thing, I know that Europe is going, okay, it's over, game over. The United States can't be depended on. The United States can't be trusted. NATO, we have technically left NATO without leaving NATO. We know this is a fact. So they don't trust us. So Europe is going to get even more solid. But watching, again, I'm going to bring this back to where we started in the beginning of this live. Watching those town halls, watching Americans who mostly are conservative Republicans give those people an ass kicking, and watching those guys' eyes go was beautiful, because Americans know what our government is, and they know how our government works. We know how it works. We thought when they voted for him, they probably thought they were going to stay within the borders. He's outstripped it, and people are not taking that, and they hate
Oh,
Elon
hell
Musk, too.
no.
Well,
I mean, I was going to ask you, Eric, because what you saw on that. I mean, that's what I saw the other day.
I haven't seen much on that. I haven't had a lot of time to catch up on the news today. But things are, if we keep the pressure campaign up and, everything, eventually, I still think the system's going to work within it. Republicans are going to make the hard call eventually. They're seeing the writing on the wall. It's just a matter of they're playing chess at this point, and I'm talking about congressional Republicans. they're weighing everything out, and when they're trying to figure out when they have to make that decision because they're going to have to do something. If they do nothing and we get to the midterms and they've done nothing about Trump, they're going to lose the House and probably the Senate.
And
Let me ask
you
you
can
guys
see the
something. I just
voters are
want your
turning now.
opinion.
Go ahead, see.
Now, let me ask you guys your opinion. This is like a two-part question. And this also goes to the chat people, the people in the chat as well. Does anybody believe that eventually, maybe not right now, because it may be a process, and my friend and I was talking about that earlier. Does anyone believe eventually that Trump will be impeached and will Elon Musk get arrested because they have broken so many laws in this past month? It's just sickening. And just imagine what's going to come up and this coming up later in the
No,
year.
no, absolutely not.
I
And
think you will.
no, they not now.
Who, Trump or Elon Musk?
Both.
None of them will
Oops.
none of them will face any consequences right now. None of them.
Well, I've been
We're
saying it
gonna
for the
have to
last.
wait. We're gonna have to wait until Trump expires, whatever way he expires,
Yeah.
Well,
until charges can be brought. Because Trump's putting the hammer down so hard on the DOJ, they're not going to indict anybody in his circle. That's just the way
so
it is. Everybody better recognize that.
Now,
See,
see,
okay.
the thing about what Elon Musk is, because legally, I mean, he's not considered a government employee. I mean, he's just basically assistant Trump. I mean, he didn't take no oath or anything. But
Uh,
there
Well,
I
people
know
consider him as
he
a
looked like the
co-president.
president in what he looked like the president standing next to that little booger kid, talking everything, but not Trump
Oh,
didn't say
don't
a
make me
damn
go there
word.
now. Don't
Oh,
make
by
me
the
go there.
way,
That was an embarrassment.
Trump removed the Resolute desk from the White
yep.
House.
he did. I saw that. I saw the
Um,
video.
Claimed it needed to be
go ahead.
restored.
So see,
Now,
I've said this like several times on lives. I thought Kamala was going to get elected. I think we all did.
Yeah.
I thought that Congress and the Senate were going to stop Trump from his nonsense when he did get elected because I thought they wanted to keep their jobs. I thought so many things were going to happen, and none of it's happening. Like, none of it's happening. They're
Yep.
just letting everything freaking run its course or whatever. They're not doing, nobody is doing anything. So I am not going to, I can't speculate on your question because who the fuck knows at this point? Like,
Well,
we don't like, and we all like say, oh, Congress has the power of this, Congress has the power of that. There's all these lawsuits. Who knows how long all these lawsuits are going to take? Who knows if anything is ever going to come of any of it? Because Trump and Elon are just going to freaking keep doing what they're doing
yeah.
until somebody literally physically stops them. And who
well,
knows
Well, I
when
think,
that's going to happen?
but I think Rebecca is that I would agree to an extent. I agree to you. I don't believe in the impeachment. I think that Trump will Big Macs will get Trump before everything.
Oh, I know.
Elon. But I think what's going on though, Republicans were all the things that you're talking about, Congress. Republicans thought that their voters would be okay with what they're doing. What they're finding out now, they're not okay with it. They're not okay with it. And so the problem with them supporting Trump is that they thought Trump was their only power way for power. What they're finding out is that the voters in their districts know how government works and they're not down with this. And it's going to take a little time, but I think that's where the Republican Party is going to pay the price because people are not accepting Elon Musk as the pseudo president. They're mad and they want their congressman to do something about it.
Oh yeah,
well,
they
Go ahead, Eric.
pissed. I mean, they
I
are
certainly hope so.
pissed to the highest power.
well,
Because
that's
they're
kind
looking
of
at him, people are, they asking the question, well, hey, who's running the show, Trump or Musk?
right. Well, that's why what I would say is the congressional Republicans they're trying to play chess with it. I think there is a chance they may draw that line and impeach Trump when they think that is the move that voters would remember and reelect them back into power. If they think that is the best way to get reelected, they'll do it. As far as Musk, I think Musk will face, even with Trump's DOJ, I think there's a chance he would face charges with Trump's DOJ after the split. There's going to come a point when those two are going to split.
Right.
Trump's gonna have to push Musk away because he's tired of looking like he's Musk's bitch and he's that Musk is really the president. That's
That would have happened a long time ago.
It's going to be a long time, though, because Musk has something on him. And it's not just the fact that he got him elected by money and corruption or whatever.
That's
definitely.
So we're going to have to come to the conclusion of this, guys. And I think part of the problem we're having with people is that they keep that it's a long-term thing. The problem when Trump first got elected is that people thought, okay, we'll stop him. No, we're not, because people wanted to see what's going to happen. They really did. Okay. And the Republicans want to see what happened. But then he overstepped it. He kept doing this and this and this and this, back to back to back to back to back. And now people are going, what, you're fucking with my money? And now it's starting to pile up. What I'm going to say, Rebecca, is that it's going to be a long time. It's going to get worse. Because it has to, for them to feel the pain, for the voters to finally turn around and going, if you don't fix this, we're going to fix you, and Trump becomes worthless to them. That's my take on that.
It's definitely going to take a long time.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, Muskrat has more on him than just getting him elected and keeping him out of prison. He's got more on him than that. You can tell that by that Oval Office freaking debacle.
You can tell that by the look on Trump's face.
Yep, the look on his face, John, exactly. Like, there is definitely more going on, because there's no way in hell Trump would have kept silent and let that shit happen. There's no way.
Well, Musk knows that Trump's a Russian asset.
See, I kind of muted your mic because you got that background. Could you turn your mic back on? Try to turn it on. I can't. How do you do that?
Well, the thing with Musk is, like, whatever he's got on Trump, there's going to come a point when Trump's ego is going to get in the way. He's going to say, no, we can't do this anymore. I've got to be the boss. I got to put you in your place, regardless of whatever it is. Do the worst you can, because Trump will believe that he can get out of whatever Musk has on it. He can spin it. He can do whatever.
How much money are we talking here, though, Eric?
Yeah.
Because remember, Trump is so transactional, it's ridiculous. How much money is exchanging hands right now?
If it means there's a good chance Trump is going to go to jail if Elon spills the beans, who knows?
See, I'm going to ask you a question because you're more connected to certain things than I am. Do you think if it gets really bad, how far do you think all of us will go? How far do you think it'll get? I mean, are we talking real torches and pitchforks?
I don't think we'll have to get to the actual torches and pitchforks. I keep saying Republicans they're going to make a move when they think it's to their benefit. If they move now and they remove him, they might say, they're worried that it's going to backfire against them in the midterms. If they wait to, they're hedging that. We just have to keep the pressure up. We have to keep being loud, keep talking on the media, doing stuff like this, and
I think we town halls.
Yeah, do the town halls, do these kind of things, and if we keep the pressure up, we won't have to get to pitchforks.
Okay, real quick, United West Stand 300. I want you to come up here and talk your shit right now. I need you to talk your pessimism, because you're just making comments over and over fucked. I want to know your justification for these comments, because you're not helping. I want to see you're crashing out. Of course you're crashing out because you don't want to defend your position. You don't want to stand with us. All right.
Hey, Binder, I kind of have to agree with what you said a little while ago when you had said that it's going to get to the point where the Republicans are going to tell them and say, well, hey, either you fix this or we're going to fix you. But if they haven't gotten to that point yet, but it's a matter of time where they will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
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 going to
going
take
to
us
happen
time.
eventually,
And
and especially once the weather warms up. Oh man, you're going to see people in
And here's the thing too. We're talking about the economy. The tariffs on building materials are just starting to come up. And when you start building houses is in the spring, in the summer. First of all, your labor is gone. That's one. Two, the price of the materials have gone up so much that they're
Right.
already seeing a negative effect on the market already and house prices. If that happens, then the pressure's really on. And so that's the thing. Also, manufacturers of cars are their parts are getting expensive. Layoffs are happening there. I want to see what happens when you get the first jobs report in March and it goes right through the fucking roof. And the unemployment. What are you going to do now, bitches?
Yeah,
Just like I
What's your take?
indicated earlier, though, by the time the summer arrives, though, the crime rate is going to triple, possibly quadruple, because people are going to be on survival mode. If it's no money, then they're going to be like, well, hell, we got to do what I got to do what I got to do to take care of my family.
No, they didn't. Their people are already in survival mode. They don't want to buy big products. They're
But it's
talking
going to
about
get
just
worse by the
groceries and
time the
small
summer
stuff.
arrives. It's going to get worse.
Exactly. And Corey, what do you mean by echo chamber? Working for you last time?
I blocked them.
What? I and he
pretty
put
sure
up a
you're
cross. You fake Christians piss me off. You fake Christians piss me off because as a Christian, as an empathetic Christian who believes in the word of Jesus and being like Jesus wanted us to do, you piss me off every day
hmm
because you are not Christian. And Corey, don't. Oh, if I see that again, ooh. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
yeah.
That's my take on that.
I agree with you, Will. I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's
I
crazy.
mean, I just I don't get their ideas of Christianity. Evangelicals have always been a little crazy to begin with, but as a power base, they are dangerous fucking people because they don't care about America. They care about something that doesn't exist, that never existed. The America they want does not exist. It never existed, and it won't. The America that we should was the multicultural group that we are now. You're not stopping it, guys.
well,
But there are
one
Deal.
of the, one of the things they want, they can't have it the way they want it. They want, for whatever reason, they want like the 1950s economy with Trump tax plan taxes, and you can't mix it. Like you can't mix the two. The only reason the economy was doing so good as it did in the 50s was because we were taxing the top 1% at like 90%, so you didn't have to tax the lower end, and you could make a living.
Yeah, more income. Yeah, I mean Reagan changed that. I mean, these are all facts, facts, facts. But but we're dealing with a man who lives in a fantasy bubble, and the
Right.
people around him in Congress lives in a fantasy bubble. The reason those assholes at the town hall got surprised was that they just kept listening to Fox News all the time and the fantasy bubble and Trump. Now they're finding out their people are pissed and they're just not going to vote for him because they know what our country is. Our country is not a monarchy,
Yeah.
No,
period,
it's not.
and we will never be a monarchy.
we told the monarchy where to go in 1776.
We That's in our blood. I
We're
don't
not
care
kings.
if you look like me, if you look like C, if we look like the rest of us. It's in our blood. We grew up on those stories, and I can quote you half the Hamilton play because I'm proud of that because I'm an American. And the reason that Hamilton worked is not only telling the story of America, it looked like America in telling that story at the time. And that's why I'm proud to be an American and disgusted about what we're seeing right now. Because the forefathers who were rich white guys would be really pissed right now. Honestly. They would
And
not be
Byron, let me
supporting Trump.
Let me jump in and state this. Now, I'm just, and no disrespect towards the panel or towards the chat. I'm just speaking from an African American woman's perspective. When Trump had took away, when I first found out he wrote an executive order for taking away the civil rights of, what was it, 1964, the next thing I
Yes.
saw was red because of the fact that's not taking away, not only taking away rights from me as an African American individual, but also rights from women, also rights from the LGBTQ community, and other minorities. And, that's the part that really just pisses me off, though. It's like he's trying to turn this country, excuse my language, no disrespect intended, because I love everybody. He's trying to turn this country into white supremacy. And if you think about it, we are the original people because, and with this being Black History Month, I could pull out, a list of all different famous inventors that were African Americans. So we are actually the original people in this country.
Well, for sure, see, aside from the Native Americans who have been persecuted for a million freaking years in this country, like, but you're right. Like, you, I don't want to walk in your shoes. I am, I'd say I'm a DEI hire. I'm a woman. I'm in the same freaking boat, kinda. But I can't imagine what it's like to be a black woman. Can't
No,
imagine
I
what it's
was
like to be a
saying,
Hispanic
far as
woman.
taking away the civil rights of
No,
1964,
Yes.
not just
right. No,
African
I agree.
Americans, but, women as well, minorities, and as well as the members of the LGBTQ community. And I'm mentioning that because I have gay friends and I've been knowing them for about 7 years.
Yeah, I have
And
And
it
it
and the
makes me
trans
mad because
friends.
that's taking away equal
yeah.
opportunity for everybody.
And the thing about it is, let's say what the words DEI stand for is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay,
Right.
and that's the thing that they keep saying those letters like a curse. I know they use it as the new Jim Crow right now, but the point is, we are already a diverse. If you want to see diversity, honestly, go through the Kendrick Lamar reactions for the Super Bowl.
Thank
And it
you.
ain't just
Thank
black
you.
people.
Yeah.
It is
100%.
not. It is the gamut that those people who know his words, knows his songs to the T. There was a little white girl who could say his songs to the T. God help her. I hope she doesn't use an N word. But that's my point. It's because the point is they don't get it. They don't get it. You see that? I saw that. I'm going. I mean, shit.
I don't listen. I
they,
don't listen to Kendrick
yeah.
Him,
Lamar. I
Samuel
don't
L.
know his.
Jackson, I mean, they had delivered a very powerful
Oh
message.
hell yes.
I don't listen to Kendrick Lamar. I am not a Kendrick Lamar fan. Well, I mean, I get like that he's talented, but I saw that Super Bowl halftime show and I got probably 85% of his message right away. It
Oh,
was
exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
so obvious. And
Yeah.
I like I listen to hardcore like punk rock music that nobody in the world except TJ would listen to. Like I like I don't that's just not my thing. Like it's not, but I got exactly what he was saying, at least
Mm-hmm.
about 85% of it. The bit about like, dissing Drake, I was a little, you know,
Well,
lost on.
that's
But I got it
it was
afterward when I
personal.
saw the. Well, yeah, I got that afterward when
But
I saw the
Well,
but
post.
the two moments I knew was big because again I know a little bit Kendrick. I don't know a lot of his stuff. But when he said the revolution will be televised, the time is now, but you got the wrong guy. Bang! I knew it was on at that point. And then
Oh, yeah,
before
no
he did,
question.
well, yeah,
well,
and then before he did, not like us, he said 40 acres and a mule. And
Oh,
you got to know history about that one. I'm
Yep,
like going, damn.
yep.
You
well,
got to know history for that one. Go
he
ahead,
well,
TJ. I'm
went
sorry.
there.
The other thing was the flag, the ties that were the performers that were setting up like a flag, and then all of a sudden they turned and had their backs to the audience. I heard somewhere that that was supposed to represent how this country was built on the black backs of slaves. and that
Yep.
he was
Yep.
pointing that out by that action of
The
all of that coming
nuances
to
of
that.
that performance were unbelievable.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I have to watch it in full. I only got bits and pieces.
And
You,
I don't know if
you
you caught this one or not, but he yelled "muster," and they all ran out into that fake street, like muster the troops.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
It was
that's all fine and good, but you guys got to remember something. The white supremacist groups are growing more now than ever.
Oh
And
yeah.
I sent Mike a video earlier today about Enrique Terrio getting arrested at the Capitol for assaulting a woman. He got rearrested. In case you didn't know, he just got arrested today. And I
Tyler,
told
they're-
and I
but they're their own worst enemy.
no,
TJ.
yeah, you're right, but these people aren't going away, and I'm going to tell you something.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to tell you something about in the '90s. I played in a punk rock band, and the Proud Boys didn't exist at that time, but they were called the Hammerskins, and so they'd come to our shows and try to, do their bullshit, their Nazi stuff, and we'd beat the fuck out of all of them. We would beat the fuck out of them. We throw I've been in street fights where they were throwing bricks at them and all this shit. And eventually they learned that we're not going to tolerate your bullshit. And
Wow.
they got their asses beat so many fucking times, beaten bloody, bad. Their teeth knocked
Ooh.
out, getting their heads kicked with steel toe boots. Like they finally learned not to do that. But now today, there's no one stopping them. We used to stop them. They're out in full force now.
Not for nothing, but Pennsylvania is one of the biggest white supremacist states in the country.
Yeah, we had the
Wow.
headquarter of the Klan here.
We
For
have,
fuck's sake.
and you wouldn't think that. You'd think it'd be down south or whatever, but
No.
Pennsylvania has a ridiculous number of white supremacist groups that are known, like more than anywhere in the country.
We beat the fuck out of those people, and now, their numbers are growing and growing, and I'm seeing it, and I'm sick. I'm sick because we used to suppress them and be able to control them. Now they're just out in fucking armies. There's armies of them now.
Well,
we got a
There's
bunch of
armies, but I
videos
still think we outnumber them.
Oh,
And I think
We do, but
they are.
but people are but what people are willing to go out and fight them in the street. That's what I'm
Right?
saying.
Because that's what it takes. It's not.
That's
it's
what it
not-
takes.
Words,
You-
words, and intelligence, and all that
No,
stuff
no.
does not matter against them. It doesn't.
What about all
Well,
those
here's
people
the thing.
in
The
Cleveland
most of them are
that
fucking
threw bricks
cowards.
at 'em?
Most of them are fucking cowards. When they got confronted in was it Ohio
Cleveland,
with the
yeah.
neighborhood, they ran like little
Threw
pussies.
bricks at 'em.
Yeah, see the thing about it is, and
see
they
that-
tried that in Philadelphia, and they ran for their lives.
Did you hear what JD said?
Remember that?
They threw bricks at him. That's a repeating theme from what I just said. Because we used to throw bricks at him.
So the point is, they're reaching their limit of tolerance with Americans, and I get you, TJ. Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing: the Gravy Seals can go to hell, because people are going to get pissed. People are pissed. We've had it, really. And that's what I'm saying. I get your point. But the reason you went after him and stomped the shit out of him, because you were pissed at him. You'd had it with him. Americans are getting there. And I have my faith in that because I don't think we're going to tolerate with that shit.
Yeah,
Well,
well, when they used to come to our shows and do that little salute that they love so much, they'd get a bottle busted over their head.
Oh
Good.
damn.
But that.
Good.
But that's.
Yeah,
that's
we-
what it-
we didn't
that's
play
what-
that
And which
shit.
they should.
That's
What?
what it takes, though. There's no like.
There's no calmly explaining to them that that's
No,
not
there's
cool.
nothing.
Yes,
The only
exactly,
thing you
Tom,
can, the only
exactly.
communication you can have with them is violence. I'm just telling you, that's the
Exactly.
truth.
There's no
Violence.
talking, none of that.
No,
It's like,
you just- you
that's
just-
when you talk about racism, that's trained, that's more like trained behavior. I mean, it's
Right.
hatred.
Yeah, the only thing they understand is violence. I'm not
That's
even
it.
joking when I tell you that.
No, I believe
that's reality. You
Eric,
have
you're
to
gonna say
bust the
something,
bottle
I
over their
interrupt you
fucking
before.
head.
Like everybody should go home and read and watch Clockwork Orange one more time. because
Go,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
go ahead, Eric. I'm
I
sorry.
agree with all you guys. Like the biggest thing is it's going to come to a point where they're going to get their ass beat. There was a kid, 18 to 22-year-old kid, something like that, when I was in my early 20s in my hometown, and he was dressing in full 1940s German military uniform. The whole works.
He got
The
punched
gray
in his
uniform,
face.
armband, everything.
He got punched in his face, didn't he?
Well, there was at one point I was working with a guy who was in his 80s who was a World War II vet. Luckily, he didn't see him. I go,
Shit.
I'm just glad he didn't see him. I'm like, if he would have seen him, we might have seen him have some flashbacks. We could have seen an 80-year-old kick the hell out of a 20-year-old.
Yeah, you're talking about GI Robot there. Oh my God.
But
Oh,
Wow.
what ended up happening is one of my coworkers who was in that guy's friend group said they tolerated it for about a week. They were trying to talk him out of it.
Week.
Like
Wow.
maybe it was a week where he like they were working with him, trying to be nice about it, trying to talk him out of it from walking around town. And after the nice side didn't work, his friends, his group of friends beat the shit out of him
Good.
and never saw him wear that stuff again. I never
Right.
heard
Yeah.
he was
Wow.
he had some
It's-
issues.
it's-
I know
it's
he had
weird.
Back in
mental
the 80s and
problems.
90s, that's how it was. That's how it was.
It's weird that his friends did that. Like if you did that here, you'd be you're not gonna you're gonna be done. I mean, that's it. You're gonna be dead. I mean,
Back
Yeah,
in the
it's-
I have a
70s,
theory.
I got to see a bunch of nuns kick a bunch of Nazis' asses.
nuns.
I wanted to read somebody sent in the chat. It says Trump just fired the Joint Chief of Staff General Brown for
Yeah.
DEI initiatives. That's
yeah,
my
that's what
that's my point
Hesketh.
there.
Part of it was that also Hesketh had wrote that they're blaming him for, although he wasn't the Joint Chief at the time, they're blaming him for the Afghanistan debacle. So they're looking for excuses. You know what? This is, and we've been going 2 hours, so I'm going to wind it up real quick, guys, because I have to be up at 9 tomorrow. But real quick, I want to thank all of you for showing. But I want to tell everyone who's listening or watching this, and this will be up on TikTok, be on YouTube, whenever they download it for me. It takes a while. Don't give up hope. They do this shit to drive us nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't believe the military is going to put up with this overall. I don't think the U.S. military is going to turn on the people of the United States because we are the Constitution. I think, in my belief, that watching the Republicans eat shit at their town halls is the first step of what I call the torches and pitchforks, but on the right way. That's the first step. If that don't work, step 2 comes up, and we'll do what we have to do because, as the title of this live has been, Americans do not capitulate. America has no king. America needs no king. We
Yeah.
are who we are, and we grew up in defiance. We grew up in being proud of freedom and accepting everyone, and no tin pot con man who has to use fucking orange foundation to make him not look old and wears a diaper is going to bring down my country.
That's right.
I get an amen.
And
Because the purpose of the Constitution, it's all about justice, freedom, and equality. And I stand on that, period.
so do I. And any other last words, guys, before I call this to a night?
Yeah, I got a couple things to say about that. This pushback on these Republicans, that's all fine and good, but are they coming to these things and saying, oh, it's a bunch of Democrats pushing against me? Or do they believe it's their actual Republican constituents? So,
As their actual Republican constituents.
yeah, but are they believing that, though? That's what I'm
They can
talking
believe
about.
what they want. People identify themselves as Republican voters or independents.
Based on the comments on my Facebook page from my Republican high school colleagues, they don't believe that shit.
Explain that.
They are completely immersed in everything that Elon's doing is for the good. Everything that Trump's doing is for the good. Like they don't believe anything the Democrats say. Not a freaking word. They don't care if their eggs are $8 or $9 a dozen right now. They don't care. That's DEI higher and Trump and Biden's fault.
The only people that are going to turn right now are the actual Republicans that voted for Trump because he has an R next to his name. MAGA itself is not going to turn yet.
They'll never turn.
Well,
No, they won't
Never.
turn. That's what I was
Never.
saying.
They'll
Oh, they
turn.
That's what
definitely
I was
gonna turn.
saying
They
before.
finding
I
out
don't deal with
now.
those people anymore. I don't deal with those people anymore. There's no hand. There's no coming across the aisle. What I'm going to do is push them to the ground and step over them to get my country back.
Well, some
What's
of them
going
are.
on is that a lot of those people in those town halls have identified themselves as Republicans, independents, and they want to know where the fuck their money is. Simple as that.
Oh yeah, my mom said that we're all getting the $8,000 refund.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
oh
Oh, I know
God.
we're not.
That's a lie. That's a damn
Yeah, that
lie.
That
that
is
Yeah.
not.
that to me is like I love seeing that. I just freaking laugh my
That's
ass off.
My
If I
boss told me that today.
Yeah, she asked me what I thought of that yesterday when I took her shopping.
if I get an $8,000 check from the Treasury, I'm gonna give it to the Multicultural Center.
Oh,
it's a, and see that's part
Good
of the
idea.
con. It's a con, and people are realizing it's a con. Even if they, because who you hear those people are deep in the Kool Aid. When and as I believe JD said, it's the Republicans who vote for R all the time. They voted for R this time, and finding out they got bought, they got conned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
That's
the same
exactly what's
people
going
that
on.
think that like all these people that think there's gonna be no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, and they
None
think
of
they
that
like
shit's happening.
they just
No.
Those
believe that
are,
all that shit that they
it's a
said is
con.
real.
I
Oh,
The
that's
mean,
funny thing
that's
is,
funny, Phil.
the funny thing is, like Mike did the math on this. I'm pretty sure, and it's like, uh, Elon claims that they found $83 billion in waste, and that he's going to give $8,000 checks to every man, woman, and child in the U.S. Trouble is, if they do that, that's over $800 billion. So that's like saving, uh, like that would be like cutting your cable bill and saving $150 a month, and celebrating by going out and buying a new car.
Well, let me tell you something, JD. $800 billion is the national defense budget, which is like 53% of the entire budget of the country. So that's
Exactly.
the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like there's the numbers don't number at all.
Okay,
Yeah, the math
guys,
doesn't
we're
math.
gonna we're gonna we're gonna take a few more minutes because Old Soul has arrived. Hey, Old Soul,
Hey,
Oh,
how are you?
old
Old Soul.
How's it
soul.
going?
Oh,
hello.
Hey, I was
Hey,
actually like clicking on looking for Eric's live, and here I am. Hey, Eric.
Hey, old soul.
How late
Eric's
am I?
Eric's not wearing any
uh,
pants, just so you know.
Every time, TJ.
every time. I love it.
Just
no,
imagine
Am
what
I
no,
am I really
we've
late?
been yeah, we've been pushing the 2 hour mark. I started at 8:30 my time, but so I
Okay.
saw you here. Oh, I'm willing to give you some time. How you doing today? I haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, I'm good. I did the podcast with Boomer last night, and that was fun.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was seeing, and I just kind of, just to give everybody a heads up, I couldn't talk about it yesterday because I was emotional. But I saw that they're going to ramp up raids in LA now for the deportations. And I saw that Elon Musk's security has been deputized. I don't know if you guys talked about that
Yep.
yet.
No, we didn't talk about it.
So what we saw, there's been 3 cases. You can look it up if you want to. So what some of these predators are doing is they are going to like women and telling them, if you don't have sex with me, I will deport you. And so they're pretending to be ICE, and they are abusing these
What the
women.
fuck?
Oh
Are you
my
kidding
god.
Oh
me?
wow.
Are you kidding
So
me?
No
no, I'm
kidding.
not. So far, 3 people have been arrested,
What the
and
Oh
so
my
fuck?
god.
yeah. So I just
What?
kind
so
of
you know how
Whoa.
I feel about women's rights. Holy crap.
yeah. So what I was asking, like, what can we do? And from my understanding, if you are a woman and you're in that situation and somebody approaches you, ask for a badge and ask for a warrant. It
Yeah.
could be ICE. It couldn't be.
Well,
It could be or couldn't be. But that's the only thing that I know to protect yourself from that.
What
I
state?
would believe in castration on the spot, but go
Well,
ahead.
the solution to that
Damn.
is 556 by 51.
What's oh yeah, it's scary. It's crazy, and it's still so sad just to hear people doing that.
It's
Wow.
That's
human
insane.
nature. There are days, I swear to God, guys, there are days where I wish we really had a pandemic that we wipe out the human race because sometimes we deserve it.
Well, we're gonna
Where's
get
that
No
it
fucking
offense.
because
asteroid?
Hey, we got
measles is
RFK.
blowing up.
Pandemic
Bird flu and
2.0.
measles. You may get it.
Where's that
But
asteroid?
so
Yeah.
where's this? Is this in Los Angeles that you're hearing this happening?
Yeah, let me check right now. Just pull out my phone. I'll check and see the names and the state. Just give me one moment.
And while she's looking, I just want to make one comment, ladies and gentlemen. I think probably between probably like the first of the month, I'm planning on starting my own podcast on this app called
Oh,
Swell.
cool.
So, I'm trying to gather up some guests. So once I get all the details, I'll let everybody know. But I'm
That's
planning on
awesome.
starting my own
Yeah.
podcast, talking about these same topics because our voices need to be heard.
Definitely.
Cool.
So I see Mike has joined the chat. I need someone to sacrifice themselves for him.
Oh, cut me out. Go ahead.
Okay,
Knock me
gotcha.
down
Appreciate
there.
you.
The first one that I'm seeing right now. Let me get his name. His name. He was in South Carolina, and his name is Sean Michael Johnson, and he's 33. And I'm looking for the other two guys right now.
Jesus Christ.
So he basically got a woman. Was it obviously a Latina?
Yeah. The first two, they were actually, this is weird because the first two got arrested for impersonating ICE and they were trying to fake arrest two men. So I don't know what would have happened if they would have got those men into that car. And, there's no telling what they would have done. But that last guy, he fell through and he actually had sex with this woman. And all three of them have been charged right now. So they have been charged. The only
Good.
thing when I think about stuff like that, as scared as the Latino community is and the Hispanic community in general, think about how many times he's done this and the women are too afraid to report it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well,
Yeah, it's really scary. Really,
just
really
So
scary.
quick
the
question to the
the
ladies and the
Wow.
guys. You can
the
chime
ICE
in
agents were charged, or were the girls?
in person.
No, they were pretending to be ICE agents.
Oh, they were guys pretending.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they would like fake arrest people, and the one guy he was having only one person came forward. I have a feeling that it's more than that because he was too bold with it.
Oh, it has to
Um,
be more.
yeah, but he was just like, have sex with me or you're gonna get deported.
That's
And of course,
crazy.
Well, isn't
What
that
the
lovely?
hell?
yeah, it's some sick
But
people
I
out there.
mean,
If anybody wants to look, there's an article on CNN. They wrote an article about it, and the date on the article was February 5th.
Wow.
well, isn't that
Question.
lovely?
Quick question.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Quick question to the ladies.
yeah, I thought Mike was here. I guess he bailed. Probably tired. You probably wore him out, Eric. Um,
Mike,
so
Will, real
yes,
quick.
ma'am.
Quick question to the ladies and the guys. You can chime in too. How many of you feel that we're getting closer and closer to the Handmaid's Tale?
Oh,
We're
Oh,
there.
With that,
for sure.
yeah,
I mean, they're
yeah.
trying to erase women. They're trying to erase women. They've taken women out of NASA as you can't see any of them on the website as
Mhm.
leadership. They've taken them out of other military branches where you can't read anything about the leadership of women there. The Save Act is going to disenfranchise so many women voters because they won't be able to re-register if they move or register if they've just gotten married and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be it's a lot addressing women or pointing at women. I think it's really getting bad there.
I don't know if any of you
Wow.
follow Double D Mother, but she always refers to, she does a lot of posts about the White House press secretary, who's a woman,
Mm.
a white woman,
Yes.
and she does not call her by her name ever. She calls her the DEI hire.
Yep. I mean, I refer to her as the bubblehead bleach blonde that comes on at 5 because she's doing the same purpose.
Yes.
And if
Well,
you don't know
Yeah,
that reference,
Wow.
look up Don Henley, guys.
yeah,
exactly.
and
Um,
have you see the Republicans pushing no fault divorce, which is
Yes.
crazy. It's like they really are attacking us. And then if you get assaulted, you're scared to go to the police because they won't give you a plan B pill. So you have to sit there and pray that you get your period and then try to figure out from there. So a lot of the stuff that's happening, women are too scared to report it. If you report a rape and you end up being pregnant, well, they know that you're pregnant. And so if you technically they will know if you got an abortion or not if you do that.
You know what,
Oh,
Ulti?
yeah, this is
wow.
I'm about to be 50 years old, and I have never in my life imagined that there would be a time when I would be happy to be past childbearing age
Yeah,
for
yeah,
political reasons.
Yes.
yeah,
I agree.
it's my daughter is a
Unbelievable.
little over 30. I'm just hoping that we can get this fixed before this gets worse. That's a
yeah.
concern of mine.
Did you guys
Because
see there was a
go
viral
ahead.
video of a pastor? Did you see that? And he was telling the congregation, get them while they're young before they know better. Did anybody else see that?
No,
Ugh.
I did not.
Yeah, these people are
That
gross.
sounds typical evangelical.
That's exactly who he was, the evangelical. Yep.
God, you see, that's the thing. They are predators, and they use Christianity to further their own sickness.
Huh.
And this is what's going to catch. And all this is sad at this point, but I'm telling you, we're going to win. History's on
Mm-hmm.
our fucking side, and it's not going to be easy, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to take a little while.
The
And
good
even with
people,
doing with the military, but I think they're fucking with the wrong people.
the
I
good
Yeah.
really
people,
do.
the good people are gonna get really fucking mad at these white supremacists and at these predators and all that shit. And
We throw bricks at them, just so you know.
exactly. And TJ, the reason why all these fucks are raising a fucking army right now is because they feel too comfortable.
Yeah.
When we
Exactly.
Yeah.
when we start pushing back, they're gonna they're gonna notice something.
Especially now when they are making enemies out of MAGA. That town hall was like crazy. I didn't even think they paid attention like that. But hearing them say raise the cap on Social Security, they're pushing
Right.
back when he's telling them, hey, your kid needs to get a job and stop like leeching
What?
off of the system when he's in high school. Like a free lunch is leeching off the government when you are a student in school.
Well, also a lot of those people that you saw in those town halls pushing back are not
Hmm.
MAGA. They're just
Oh, they
Republicans
were.
voted R. No,
Oh,
have you've seen the other town halls where they're pushing on those people on the
yeah,
Republican legislation? Okay, those are people who voted R because they saw R. What they didn't know they were going to get this. Now the legislatures are MAGA, and they thought
okay,
they can get away with this shit, and they're finding out it's going to take a while for it to ferment up into the Republican Party, the majority of the party, going. These guys are going to cost us. Trump is
yeah.
going to cost us. It's going to take a while. And that's what I'm saying. I think and I believe that what happened on November 5th was disappointing, but I think those people are finding out they made an error and they got conned
This is an
and they're about to
extinction.
replace it.
And you know what? And how all of it started when Trump had made all these promises, talking about he's going to decrease the price of groceries and things are going to go down. And here it is. He's been in office now, what, close to a month. The prices of groceries hasn't gone down. The cost of eggs hasn't gone down. If anything, they're going up.
How do you guys feel about him blaming Biden? How
Typical.
Not
My
surprised.
question to MAGA is here's the question. At what point are you going to allow him to stop blaming Biden? So
Not
does it
just
have to be
Biden.
6 months, a year? Like where do they draw the line when they say
Not
Trump's been in office for 6 months now? Why is he still blaming Biden? Like how can
it's
he
not
drag that out?
it's not only Biden. He's blaming DEI hires for everything.
True, true.
But see, that's how narcissist people behave because of the fact that in his case, he doesn't want to take accountability for his own actions. He wants to push it off on other people. Like with those plane crashes, the first plane crash,
Mm-hmm.
they want to sit up here and blame it on DEI and blame it on Biden and blame it on Obama, blame it on the black people. No, that's your fault. You're the one that's in office. You're responsible for what happened to those people.
And
Period.
clearly,
Dot in a story.
yeah, clearly there was no plane crashes when Buttigieg was the transportation secretary. So how is it his fault?
Nope, there was no plane crashes
No.
for what was it, like 17 years or some ridiculous
Thank
Yeah,
you
we
number.
for the
had 9
roses,
in a
by the
month.
way.
We're up to
Yeah.
9 now.
Did you see the?
Yeah.
Did I see the one yesterday where the two planes collided midair in, I believe, Nevada?
Yep.
No.
It's just, yeah, it's so this is the thing, guys. This is going to be, and I apologize. And also, thanks for showing up. C, TJ, Rebecca, JD, Eric, Kim, Mr. Suave. Thank you for showing up. I'm going to just kind of pull the plug because, yeah, I got to get the. I got work tomorrow, but I really, really, really appreciate you guys showing up. This has been a good talk. And always remember, guys, Americans never capitulate. Americans do not believe in kings. And in the end, all those people that have been given this shit for 10 years are going to end up in the dustbin of history.
Yep,
And
Absolutely.
that's what I
they are.
believe. Amen.
Hey, Eric, if you start a live, I'll go.
Same.
I'll
Yeah, let
follow.
me know when your next live is.
Okay.
Okay, I will, you guys.
Might do
All
one
right, thank you
tomorrow.
for participating. You guys have a good time. Go carry the conversation. And remember, America has no king. America needs no king. And God bless America. Be safe, guys. Bye bye.
Night,
Good
guys.
night.
Stay
Take
well.
care. Have a good
Night.
night, everybody. Thank you.
Night.